Good day, Tony Worth. How you doing, buddy?
Well, doing pretty good, and very happy to finally get on Google Plus here and hang out with you guys and start to talk about AC11 and the opportunities that this presents for human health.
Let me tell you, you're becoming quite a celebrity in Israel. A bunch of Israelis are crazy about AC11, and so many people are looking forward to see you in person and hear from you. So many people are really anxious to learn more about AC11 and DNA repair. Great things. And I have a few questions for you today. And shall we get started?
I'd love to.
Well, before we start, I'd love to say that how much I appreciate the fact that you're taking the time to be with us right now. We are pre-recording this session, but everybody's going to watch it. It's going to be a Friday morning in Israel, and hundreds of people are going to be listening to us, trying to get as much information as they can. So I'm very, very excited for our short conversation right now. And my first question has to do with a little bit of background. Just tell us a few words about optogenics and about the AC11 research. How long did it take the research? How long did it take?
Okay, well, I'll start with the AC11 research. Dr. Ronald Pirro is our chief scientific officer for years. He's retired now, but still does consulting with the company. He started publishing papers in the late 1970s on DNA repair as a target molecule for anti-aging therapies. I started being interested as I started a clinical practice and was reading papers in the early 90s. The first one published on my birthday in 91, June 4th in the Science Times. It talked about nature's repair kit. This was at a time when antioxidants were becoming big, but my background being clinical nutrition, I saw that there was an opportunity here that, yes, you can minimize damage with oxidants, but damage still happens, aging still happens. So we really wanted to look at the backside of that healthy aging equation, which was DNA repair. In 1991, we recognized the systems existed, but we didn't know how to influence those systems. By 97, I met Dr. Pirro. We started doing research in the Amazon, came up with an herbarium of 100 herbs. A couple we started to look at initially. One of them was on Uncaria. And to make a long story short, it's been 15 years of development and research. We just had our 9th patent issue, soon to be 10th, and right after that the 11th, but all different applications as it relates to mammals, DNA repair, and anti-tumor claims, anti-inflammatory claims, immune-enhancing claims, with our composition, which is carboxyalkyl esters, quinic alkyl esters, and quinic acid derivatives. These things are magic when they're in the human body in a large enough quantity, and we've now published our 12th endpoint and DNA repair, how we influence this, so it's no mistake. And it's no mistake in the field because we're continually getting the feedback from the doctors and the people using these products of the phenomenal results they're getting.
Very interesting. You know, when we first heard about DNA repair, we thought, wow, this is a science fiction. But then we learned that our body does it naturally. So what can you tell us about the actual DNA repair? Why DNA repair is so important to our body, and what happens when it doesn't happen, when our body doesn't repair the DNA damage?
Okay. Well, humans as mammals get to live, along with elephants, get to be the longest living mammals because we're the most efficient at DNA repair. And within our genetic framework and different cultures we grow up with, in ethnicities and such, some of us are more efficient at others, but pretty much everybody gets to that 80 to 100-year-old range. You know, there is one of the brightest scientists I've ever dealt with, who's our scientific officer with a cosmetic, with the topical products, Dr. Noah Scheinfeld out of New York City, We were in the park about 3-4 years ago talking after lunch, and I never liked anti-aging because anti-aging doesn't mean anything if you're suffering and you're struggling to make ends meet, and who wants to live longer? But if you can live longer and live functioning well, be healthier and live longer, everybody's interested in that. And that's what this technology is about. So the DNA repair is important because we are a reflection of our DNA. When you look in the mirror, what comes back is the reflection of every single cell in your body. So if you're seeing youth, it's a reflection of healthy young DNA. If you're seeing old age, it's a reflection of a lot of damage. Aging is all about damage that accumulates to our DNA that accelerates after 30, accelerates every year. More accumulation, those genes divide, go forward, they're carrying more damage forward. That damage gets new damage. Ultimately, in our 40s, 50s, 60s, we start seeing degenerative diseases. If you can keep the condition of your DNA in a constant or in an equilibrium, or the integrity of your DNA, your body starts to behave much more youthfully. The expression is a more youthful expression. In our case, it's a much more energetic expression. You know, I'll explain that at other times, but the point is DNA repair is critical to the damage that happens every millisecond of every day to every cell in our body. It's an enzymatic repair system. Just like we have enzymes to digest food, the more efficient you are with digestion, the healthier you are. The worse you are with digestion, you have a hard time breaking down foods and assimilating. When it comes to DNA, the more efficient we are at repairing the damage on a daily basis, the healthier we are. What we talk about here with DNA repair and AC11 is increasing your reserve capacity. Your reserve capacity means you not only repair the damage of today, and you now have a capacity to repair today's damage, but you can go backwards and start cleaning up old damage. It's very, very impressive stuff, and it works.
Amazing. How does it work? How does the AC11 really help our body to enhance the DNA repair process? What really happens there?
Well, there's about a dozen different endpoints with physiology that we've measured. But one of the key nutritional models that we can follow, especially, if you're, we all have in our intestines healthy bacteria. If we're very healthy and not taking antibiotics and not doing a lot of drugs or alcohol, things like this, we tend to have, especially in breastfed children, you tend to have very strong, healthy bacteria in the gut. These bacteria, one of the things that AC11 does, these bacteria metabolize the actives, the carboxyalkyl esters, the quinic alkyl esters, and they transform these into essential amino acids and to energy compounds like nicotinamide and NAD, hence ATP, and NAD is also stimulating a lot of the anti-aging genes for better expression. So it would be really quite the lesson here to go through all these endpoints, but when it comes to DNA adducts, when we're looking at damaged DNA and controls versus groups of people that are using AC11, in every situation we've studied over the last 15 years, every endpoint is enhanced by the use of AC11. What we're doing now with auditory in the United States government through the VA, soldiers come back from Iran, Iraq, and different parts of the world, and the number one problem is hearing loss. We have ear cells that terminally differentiate, auditory nerve cells, from birth. They need to last us a lifetime. When they get past 35-40% damage, DNA damage specifically, they can't self-repair. So what happens is, less than that, we are inducing hearing repair with AC11 because we're stimulating the only pathway these auditory nerve cells can respond, their DNA repair pathways. We're now quantifying things like DNA repair proteins and precursor proteins and how they translocate into the nucleus and into the mitochondria where we make energy for both nuclear and mitochondrial DNA. We see a significant upregulation of these DNA repair proteins, which are essential for these enzymes to work, and also with the mitochondrial activity, energy production. So there's numerous pathways. Like I say, we've looked at 12 so far. Every single pathway demonstrates enhanced DNA repair. For example, an additional one might be that we help would decrease the expression of NF-kappa beta. NF-kappa beta is a transcription factor, a cellular process that basically responds to foreign agents, and it produces inflammation in the body. A little bit is an evolutionary process that makes us healthy. We live in a world where we get too much of this overexpression of NF-kappa beta, too much inflammation in the body. The inflammation is causing excessive oxidative stress and doing excessive damage to our DNA. AC11 limits and starts to inhibit that overexpression, so you're not getting all this damage done through these pathways started by NF-kappa beta. So you don't have to repair the damage if it doesn't happen. So again, another way that you have less damage, we have an ability to significantly increase the repair because there's less to repair on a daily basis.
Sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. Sounds really sounds amazing. You know, and the question is that I don't think there is anybody out there who doesn't like to get younger. You know, mankind for centuries have been looking for the fountain of youth. Is it really possible, physiologically, to get younger every day?
Absolutely. And let me start by just giving an example or two. I was in Detroit in June, meeting with about 700 people. They were putting on, with BHIP, putting on some business event, and there were probably close to 75 doctors there. One of the doctors I met looked phenomenal. I mean, just she was a black woman, probably about 60, but when she told me how old she was, I didn't believe it. Well, she showed me a picture from 2 months prior, her registration picture for another medical event she went in before she heard about these products. She went on the Activar, she went on the oral product with AC11, and it looked like a mother-daughter photo. And this was a photo taken, I mean, you're looking at them, they're real, and you can see it's the same woman, but you would have no idea that it was the same woman if you bumped into them on the street. We go through this, and I was talking a minute ago about increasing our reserve capacity. We have products like Purple Plus and IO and Purple Caps, and I refer to these as a vacation in a bottle. And what do I mean by that? When we go on vacation, why are we going on vacation? Our bodies are stressed. You know, where we've had a long year, a lot of things that we deal with in life, and for different reasons, our bodies get stressed and tired. We go away, we hopefully find a beautiful location, have some great food, a chance to relax with friends, people we love, and recover. At the end of 2 weeks of a process like that, you feel more energized. Why? Because the body's caught up, the damage wasn't in excess of what you could repair on a daily basis, and so the body recovers. You know, it just does. And so maybe it didn't recover 20 years, but it recovered to the point where you feel a lot better and you look better. Well, what we're doing with the AC11 technology on a daily basis is you're having a vacation in a bottle, meaning while you're in the heat of battle of your life and doing the things you need to be doing and under duress, every day we're increasing your reserve capacity for self-repair. So you clean up today's damage. You have, for example, you have 10 units of damage at age 50. But you only have 8.5 units of repair capacity, say, per strand of DNA. And a very small number. They're much bigger numbers. Doing it to illustrate a point. And that's in a good situation. What we're doing with our technology is making it so you have 11, 12, 13 units of repair capacity for 10 units of damage. The body, in its wisdom, doesn't give up on this repair capacity. What happens is we take that reserve capacity and we go back and clean up what's most critical. Over time, repeated days, instead of damage accumulating as you get older, we're minimizing today's damage and we're cleaning up old damage a little every day. So yes, biologically your cells are getting younger. The condition of your DNA is behaving as if it's younger. The expression of that DNA is more youthful energy, passion for what you want to be doing in your life, the resources to be able to engage a busy life at 50, 60, 70 years old. My mom turns 90 on her next birthday. She started using AC11 when we did first pilots in 97, 98 on the pilot batches on the raw material. Power walks 3 to 5 miles a day, weather permitting, hits the gym twice a week for weights and aerobics. I get her on the phone, it's like I'm in high school talking to her. She hasn't lost a thing. You look at her peers, she runs a hospice, she takes care of people over 65, 70. But you'd have to hang out with this woman. She is just filled with love and passion and still has the capacity at 90 years old to deliver to everybody in her life on a daily basis. You know, so it's amazing when you see that, when you see it with young children. They don't have the damage that starts to accumulate after 27, 28. But one of the values with AC11 is that we stimulate immune function, white blood cells. We help the body maintain its numbers and the viability, the activity of these. So young kids that use like the Purple Plus over here, which the purple caps are a capsule version of that product, they have conditions for a year and a half, 2 years, antibiotics, different drugs, respiratory conditions since they've been born. They're 2 years old, they get on this stuff, and a year and a half, 2 years later, other than a doctor checkup, they haven't been sick one day. It leverages your health where you are. I like to say we can't fix it if it ain't broken, meaning if you're not 60 with certain problems, that doesn't need to repair. You're 20 and healthy and active. Well, when I talked about those pathways of proteins and energy compounds in the gut, it transforms athletic performance because you become more anabolic. You recover faster from workouts. You get bigger. You get stronger. You have essential building blocks to do so. And these energy compounds come up. So you have more of a, raw energy to utilize in your competition or your training or whatever you're doing. So we talk about growing younger, but we don't want to lose sight of the fact that this technology benefits you where you're at in your life. And it doesn't always have to be 50 years old and banged up with a lot of DNA damage. It can be much earlier in life, and the expression of your healthy expression of your DNA at that age, along with your athletic expression, is just going to be pronounced. Big advantage, and it's natural. These are nutritional pathways we're influencing.
Fascinating. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. I have more questions, and I'm sure that there are so many people with so many questions. And maybe the last two things I'd like shortly, if I may. What causes the DNA repair kit, the BHIP DNA repair kit, to be so effective?
Okay, well, many years of research went into the day and night cream. And when used as a system, we have AC11 in the liposome, which repairs sun damage. Israel has a lot of sun, and people love the beach. So premature aging of the skin is primarily due to overexposure to the sun. We repair TT dimers. These are the dimers in your DNA, the thymine dimers, that are fused together by UV light and cause damage, fine lines, wrinkles, and age spots. The AC11 repairs these. We've done studies, human studies, and different degrees. Everybody improves, some pronounced where you don't see the sun damage anymore. Others, maybe they'll get rid of a third to half of it. And we know when you ingest AC11 in the inclusion of what we call the purple caps, and I won't get into all the other stuff that's in there right now, but everything in there has a purpose. And by putting this thing together, we're doubling the anti-inflammatory effect of AC11 alone. We're doing things internally where with the oral ingestion of AC11, we also stimulate repair from sun damage, but we also stimulate collagen gene 3 expression, which means production of more collagen. Your skin gets firmer, stronger, you're losing fine lines and wrinkles and getting rid of the UV damage from the sun. So the system itself, just from a beauty aspect, is phenomenal. But the results are so much more internally, and people will tell you what they are because everybody's story is going to be different because we all have different issues going on with our body.
Amazing. Last thing, Tony, before we say goodbye, it sounds like a revolution. It sounds really as something that everybody wants, everybody needs. And the last question, who should use our product? Who should use it and why?
Well, the kit, anybody who is starting to go into the sun, certainly on the topical side. The oral, if you have a pulse, you should be using it because we all have DNA and we all want to maintain the integrity of that DNA. So you can use that, obviously less if you're a teenager or a child, more if you're a 300-pound person. Two caps of the purple plus caps there, the purple caps, 2 of those capsules are designed for a 150, 160-pound person. So if you're 300 pounds, you're probably going to want to take double. If you're half that size as a child or a teenager, 1 cap a day. But anybody that's got DNA and is interested in maintaining their health and maintaining the genetic inheritance you receive from your parents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, all the stuff that get passed on to you, all that stuff that's good in our DNA that makes us us. If you want to maintain the condition of the DNA, your health, your energy, your vitality, your wellness, then this product's for you. If you have no interest in that, then don't take it.
It's a free choice.
Free choice.
Tony Worth, I cannot appreciate more the time that you took to spend with me and the hours that you spend with Ophir on the logistics and the techno side of Google Hangout. Thanks to this technology, you can really be with us here today. Thank you for the knowledge and the care and for making this happen. It really feels that we have a huge message for the world, and I cannot wait for you to be here in Israel, and we're going to take care of you. And
much to talk about.
Yes. So I really appreciate it. Everybody sitting here, sending their love to you and your family. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day, and thank you so much for spending the time with us.
My pleasure. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you, Tony.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.